Right, hello everyone, I'm Gregory Seelix. Before I begin my speech, I just want to give a big thanks to my mom. Most of you might know her here as Miss Seelix. Tommy Stringham, he's the man in the back that's doing the recording for me. And the staff here at Sand Hills Community College for making all this possible for me to accomplish. I especially want to thank everyone here in the audience today for sacrificing some of your time to engage in my speech. I'm sure we are all looking forward to Christmas break. You know, I am. The semester is coming to a close, and we are all so anxious to bundle up, spend time with our families, and forget about school for at least a few weeks. But before you finish, make sure you finish strong. I'm a person that tends to start off strong and lose steam at the end. I am coming to find out that in life, you need to hold steady, if not get stronger as you go. Life only gets harder in that more challenges will always come about to test you, to see how weak you are. As students, we are here to learn, are we not? Teachers, you teach, but you also learn from your students as well, do you not? Indeed, we are all here to learn, so never stop learning. As soon as learning ceases, your brain begins to die, and soon will your body. If there is nothing to gain or learn, then as human beings, why are we here? What is our purpose? So keep pushing to the end, never give up. It's because of learning that we have all this technology to make life easier for us today. Someone had to come along and think about how everything works so that they could create something unique. Like right here, I'm using my cell phone. It's a smartphone that I'm also using as a timer. Someone had to come along and think about that. From then, this idea evolves more and more over time to make it more practical for different situations. As a human race, we are always in a state of moving forward. Let us never stop learning. Learning is the fundamental basis of our growing. So with that being said, here's what I have learned that I would love to share with you today. So today we're talking about technology. And personally, I'm coming from the standpoint that we are heading in a direction that will ultimately deprive us of our basic abilities as human beings. First, let me start off by defining what technology is. Technology is the application of a scientific knowledge for practical purposes. We are constantly using technology to help us complete tasks to either make them more tolerable or practical to deal with. So, thinking about technology, in a sense, as humans, we have always used some form of technology to make everything easier. Think about now today, we use a lighter to help light. But a long time ago, we used to use flint and pyrite rocks, and that was used to start fires. And fires in itself were used to heat up food so we can process the nutrition more quicker. That way we don't have to go through the process that most animals do. In fact, I just watched a documentary on Netflix last night that helped me understand this. By making it to where we can process nutrients immediately, that allows for us as humans to have a bigger brain and a smaller stomach. So we've also invented ways of getting around. Our original way was walking. Okay, so then we were able to use mammals, and then we were able to use boats to get across bodies of water. But now we have cars, we have airplanes, space shuttles, trains, and more ways of getting around than ever. I've probably even left some out. For example, I used a car to get here today, and I put on shoes when I got up this morning to make walking just a little easier and more comfortable. I'll be driving a car to get to the airport in 2 weeks to take a plane to my destination. Actually, it's more like a few days now. And my luggage will be transported to the aircraft on luggage carts. These are all forms of technology that are used to make things easier. Electronics have come a long way in terms of the significance of communication. People before used to have conversations or write on caves and rocks before the alphabet was born. Now we can communicate with someone who is thousands of miles away, or even communicate to a probe that's literally out of our solar system. That probe that flew by Pluto, that's probably almost out of our solar system by now. That's pretty cool. NASA is still communicating with that probe today, another example. So we have cell phones to talk and text, drones for us to see something without us actually having to be there. You know, there's a lot of conspiracies going on today about our government conspiring against us. Well, pretty much everything in this room, your computers, your phones, someone could probably access that, probably is right now. And in World War II, Navajo code talkers worked with the U.S. military to send messages over military telephone, and so they used different ways to help the military communicate without other parties knowing what they were up to. So the human race is quickly becoming, in my opinion, too dependent on such technology to the point where we're losing the ability to do things for ourselves. Right now, they're coming out with driverless cars. I believe that was Google who came out with the first driverless car. So now we're going into artificial intelligence. You know, now we have autopilot for planes. So if that technology fails, pardon my language, but you're kind of screwed. We even have an auto temperature setting in cars where it determines, you set a temperature that's most comfortable to you and you go about it that way. And we also have Google and Siri, more artificial intelligence. It interprets what it thinks you're trying to do, and it pulls up search results for you. Pandora and Spotify, same thing. It uses your own personal song preferences and the genre that you selected to pick the most ideal song to play at the time. So what do we have to look forward to? Honestly, I have no idea. We could only guess. I mean, we're moving closer to robot judges. You know, if justice is blind, then maybe it doesn't need eyes. Will we all soon be genetically modifying our children? Is this humanity's last hope or the world's worst idea? What about paying for sex with a machine? Even the world's oldest profession is getting a technological makeover. Soon you may be paying for your coffee with your eyes. You know, payment companies are swapping plastic in favor of thumbprints, heartbeats, and your eyes. So, and what would a real-life invisibility cloak mean for society? Metamaterials can render objects invisible, not just to the naked eye, but also to radar, sonar, and detection devices. And I don't believe there's any official reports on it, but there's lots of gossip that that's what the U.S. military is already doing today. They already have cloaking devices. So, have any of you seen iRobot with Will Smith?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie. So basically, what that movie portrayed is what I'm basically leaning towards today. That we're basically relying too much on artificial intelligence. Basically, what happened in that movie, the robots that were invented were able to basically get judgment, emotion, and actions, and turn those into actions. So basically what set off everything was the fact that they were speculating that a robot killed a human. Well, they weren't programmed to do that, but since they instilled judgment and emotion within those robots, well, if you have judgment and emotion, you can turn that into an action easily. That's what we do as humans. So who knows what the world is coming to today, but I think personally that technology is coming a little too far to the point where we're not only becoming too dependent on it, but it could actually, in the distant future, become too dangerous. So that's my speech today, and I appreciate you all listening in, and thank you.